Nadal abdicates his throne and Djokovic is the new...
Roger Federer, for most of the tennis fans, the greatest of all time. He has been on tour for many years. As we know, he's currently 39 and he became a professional tennis player in 1998. He has been playing professional tennis for more than 2 decades now, and obviously tennis has evolved a lot during that time. So the real question is, how Roger adapted his game to the new times with so much ease and for so long? When Roger started his career in 1998, the tour was practically the opposite of what it is today. Short exchanges, predominance of the serve and volley style on practically all surfaces, and the game was not so biased on physical conditions. On his first career years, Roger was already showing his magic on tour. He already had that magic aggressive game that has never changed. He always wanted to be inside of the court, taking the control of the game with his brutal forehand. His talent was evident, and with a match played 20 years ago, we can recognize Roger's perfect and beautiful game. He was young and inexpert, and he had to gain consistency on his serve and on his baseline game, but the talent was already visible.
Adesso si è rimesso lì a giocare, qui però è stato molto bravo lo svizzero.
In 2003, he won his very first Grand Slam title on his favorite tournament, Wimbledon, the first one out of 20. His game progressed a lot. The difference was he was much more reliable on every shot on his game. On those years, it was practically impossible to stop Federer's serve and volley or his serve and forehand combo. His game was becoming more and more reliable with the passage of time, and his serve was also becoming one of the best on tour. His slice backhand was also one of his biggest weapons, and with that aggressive game, the Swiss maestro soon started to show why he was going to be the greatest of all time. In 2004, he got to the top of the rankings with his game looking more and more sharp. The courts were much more faster than now, and Roger's fearless and brutal attacking game, combined with his tremendous and terrifying slice, was practically impossible to manage. From 2004 to 2008, we present Roger Federer's prime time. His forehand was already considered the best forehand on the tour, and his backhand was working better than ever.
Poetry. Oh, come on. That's absurd. Brilliant. Read the pass.
In 2008 and 2009 we saw a little downgrade on Roger's game, as in 2008 we saw after 4 long years Roger Federer not being on the top of the rankings. After that dramatic Wimbledon final and a difficult season for the Swiss maestro, Rafa made a step ahead and became the world number 1 for the surprise of the tennis world. On the last year of the decade, 2009, Federer was able to take 2 Grand Slams, and on his favorite tournament, Wimbledon 2012. Courts have been slower with the pass of the years, and Novak's and Rafa's game adapted better to this situation. Novak's physical and defensive game was a step ahead of Roger. The Serbian has been the kryptonite of Federer during this decade. Grass courts, as I said, were much slower than before, and those slices and that offensive game from Federer could not damage Djokovic's super solid game. It happened the same on hard courts. Djokovic has beaten Federer at the US Open on 3 occasions this decade, and at Wimbledon he has beaten the Swiss on 3 finals, 2014, 2015 and 2019. Rafa's defensive skills have also disconnected Roger's game for most time on this decade. Federer's terrifying attacking game was not as effective as 2 other players have been able to control it regularly. Roger's most vulnerable shot turned into his backhand, and his opponents knew how to play him on big stages.
Which event was it?
He's got it. Federer mistimes the backhand. And no wonder a few people in here on.
Maravillosa esa derecha, de todas maneras, el ángulo que ha encontrado.
Oh, it's phenomenal tennis.
On 2016, Federer missed the last part of the season due to an injury for the first time in many years. This happened in Wimbledon after his worst era in his brilliant career. Most of the tennis world thought Federer was dead and it was time for retirement. Djokovic and Murray were controlling the tour with their defensive teams, and Roger's comeback looked practically impossible. But in 2017, we saw a version of Roger Federer no one expected. We saw his best backhand version ever. We saw the neo backhand. He came back more aggressive than ever. He had his confidence back, and his most vulnerable shot, as I say, the backhand, the shot that had been punished by his biggest opponents for the last years, was now his biggest weapon. We saw Roger Federer with a clear strategy, and with his neo backhand working, we saw once again an impeccable Roger game, winning 2 Grand Slams in the same season, beating Rafa in Australia, making one of the best backhand performances I have ever seen. He completed the sunshine double playing impressive tennis with his backhand, and of course, he took 5 years later his favorite tournament, winning the crown of Wimbledon without losing a single set. What an achievement. He managed to beat Rafa the 3 times they faced that year, playing unstoppable tennis for the Spaniard. Best version of the Swiss maestro was back. and in 2018 he did not disappoint. He took another Grand Slam on Australia, and after winning on Rotterdam, he became the oldest world number 1 in tennis history. He did not have the best year in 2018, but he still managed to accomplish a great season, breaking more and more records. And in 2019, he arrived to one more final on Indian Wells, and he took another Miami title, being just one match away from another Sunshine Double. He protagonized an insane grass season, bringing back his best form in Wimbledon, taking down Rafa in another clinical performance with his backhand in semi-finals, and we all know what happened in the final. But Roger protagonized another great season with the exact same formula, competing with the best players in the world and taking down the next gen. In 2020, he was able to play only one tournament, at the Australian Open. He got through the semi-finals, but an early injury did not let him play anymore in the year. Now we're heading to his return in 2021, 1 year later after his surgery. Will Roger be able to give us one more chance, win another Grand Slam, and fighting with the best players on tour once again? I don't really know, it will be difficult. I mean, Novak Djokovic is world number 1, he's playing clinical tennis, he has won Australia, next game is stepping up, Nadal is in a great form. But I think if Roger wants to come back, it's because he has still something to offer us. And I don't know, if tennis has taught me something, is that you cannot judge Roger Federer, you cannot say it's time for his retirement, because in 2009 some people thought it was finished after Nadal lost, and he came back winning